They say every empire begins with loyalty and ends with betrayal. But in this story, the empire didn't belong to a king. It belonged to a queen. Her name was Catherine Bates, and in the streets of Birmingham, Alabama, they called her Queen Disciple. The FBI would later claim she ran drug operations, commanded soldiers, and enforced silence with fear. A woman at the top of one of the most dangerous gangs in America. But power doesn't come without enemies, and those enemies were watching. This is a rise and fall of the Queen of the Gangster Disciples. To understand Catherine Bates, you must first understand the world she rose from. Birmingham's West End, an area long scarred by poverty, abandoned factories, and forgotten promises. The kind of place where the American dream isn't offered, you have to take it. Catherine grew up surrounded by instability. Streets where gangs weren't just present, they were the law. For many, joining the Gangster Disciples was less a choice and more a survival tactic. Protection, community, identity. But Catherine wasn't just surviving. She was learning. She observed power, who held it, how they kept it, and how they lost it. And she understood something most didn't. Respect can be given. Fear must be earned. The Gangster Disciples were originally founded in Chicago, structured, hierarchical, disciplined. Every neighborhood had its chapter. Every chapter had its leadership. What shocked investigators later was how high Catherine Bates allegedly climbed. Women in the organization often played supporting roles, couriers, logistics, connections. But Catherine, she became a coordinator, strategist, and enforcer. She didn't just follow orders. She issued them. Prosecutors would claim she controlled territory, collected debts, and approved punishment for betrayal. And in the world of organized crime, punishment was rarely symbolic. But Catherine didn't rise alone. Someone was watching her ascent, someone she trusted, someone who would eventually become the reason her empire crumbled. Throughout the 2010s, Birmingham police began noticing something unsettling. Different dealers using the same suppliers, the same coded language, the same loyalty signs, one network, one leadership. The FBI launched a multi-year investigation, surveillance teams, confidential informants, wiretaps. What they discovered was chilling. A structured drug distribution network, coordinated runs, an enforcement crew deployed when problems needed solving. And Catherine Bates was at the center. They called it Operation 17 Feathers. A RICO case targeting multiple Gangster Disciples members. Then came the wiretap. A single conversation that changed everything. We handle ours. Anybody step out of line, they know what happens. It was enough. The federal government prepared to strike. But before the arrest, someone made a phone call Catherine never expected. Someone inside her own circle. It was a confidential informant. Someone Catherine trusted, who turned, not because of loyalty, but because of survival. Facing charges themselves, they made a choice. Give Catherine up or go down with her. They provided names, drop locations, operation schedules, everything. July 28, 2016, federal agents moved. Multiple arrests across Birmingham. And at the center, Catherine Bates. Her final words as she was taken into custody? I don't break. The courtroom was tense. Prosecutors painted her as a criminal mastermind. Defense attorneys argued she was being targeted because of gender bias and reputation, not evidence. But the tapes, the testimonies, the surveillance, they told their own story. Catherine Bates was sentenced under RICO conspiracy charges. Her empire had fallen, but her legend had just begun. Why did Catherine rise so far in a world built to keep her down? Power isn't always about violence. Sometimes it's about filling a void the world refuses to acknowledge. She became what her environment demanded: strong, unyielding, respected. But power without peace is just another prison. This case forces us to ask, who shapes who we become, the world we grow in or the world we choose? If you believe these stories deserve to be told carefully, truthfully, and respectfully, subscribe to Mysterious Crime Box. Share the story. And remember, the most dangerous empires are the ones built in plain sight.